proccing twice with St. Vicious pulling somebody in. There's just a lot of consistent burst damage instead of a front end burst damage to wait for cooldown. So
the thing about Morgana, Cat, is that when you pick Cat, you kind of gimmick yourself into having a weaker level 1 unless you compensate for your lack of level 1 in other areas. So you see, Curse did that with Morgana and Fiddlesticks. Morgana and Fiddle came to level 1 with the Fiddle Fear and the Morgana Bind. So they can actually look to invade here, maybe able to pull out something because I feel like they have the stronger level 1. The only thing that Fear really has for them is the Rupture on Mandatory Cloud.
A lot of first level power, however. Looks like they go for the acceleration gate to get themselves moved around.
Gotcha.
Zuna staying in range position, as it looks like it's going to be Voyboy waiting to guard that red. They're kind of spread out all over. And with this amount of spread, they're not going to have too good of a level 1. The Undertow goes through. And we see him backing. This will probably just end up in being a ward, unless they really just decide to go for the steal here. Nope, they are backing. They're going to go for the ward. They're going to head down towards bottom.
Mandatory just backs just because he wants to get his mana back up. And did they even place? Oh, they placed
Yep,
the ward on
right up a red.
Okay, but the ward placed by Curse sees them exiting, so they see the amount of wards left on Muffin Kitty. They know there's a ward net. Oh, and this Muffin Kitty places a ward right in front of their blue, so they're 100% sure that even if they do invade, that they'll be able to see them. Which is, I don't know if they needed the extra ward. I'll be honest, that's a little bit questionable, but it's for safety, so I guess I can. That's not a big deal.
You can see Aphromoo just kind of poking in and out towards the golems, making sure that nobody is taking them, plus he is safe as well. They're setting up for blues now. So we're going to have to see really how this works out. How do you think Cho'Gath versus Morgana will go? Morgana's really just going to throw the soil behind. The auto attacks aren't going to push him out of lane. He'll be able to just bully that lane pretty much, but with Morgana being a good pusher, he's just going to stay in the middle the whole time?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a split lane. If anything, Mancop may have the slight advantage going into level 6, but it's still definitely just going to be a split lane. The real big issues here is, like I already said, the lane matchups were pretty poor for for Curse.
Oh, St. Vicious smiting away the big Wraith. He's going to see those Wraiths moving, so they're going to know somewhat of a position on here. They go for Mandatory Cloud. Doesn't look like it's going to be a kill. He will take a good amount of damage.
Wow.
No! They land the Dark Binding! The Ignite could go down. The Flash auto attack as St. Vicious takes the backdoor exit. Nijaki tanking.
That's a dead Saint because he has no flash.
This could be Undertow onto him, however. Oh, I was going to say the Dark Binding just to the left. Beautiful play by Curse there.
I don't think he should have gotten like a level 2 Skarner gank with no red should not have been able to get the kill there.
Yeah. I thought he was going to walk right out.
Right, Morg with an excellent bind there, but still, I have to say that Mancop should have, if he had seen the bind coming, he should have just decided to flash it because it was too risky. And it's a Skarner, like he's not going to have a good gank before 6, and blowing your flash this early is fine.
Yeah, that's very big for him. More than happy to pick up the gold for that. Saint can be very strong now. Does he decide to go back? No, he's continuing to jungle, so he's going to keep his presence around, continue to farm. Nijaki now putting the pressure on Mandatory Cloud. He's kind of got that lane into position. He doesn't want it too much, and you can see him just trying to get as much free damage down as he can as Nijaki just pushes that lane, waiting to go back with his assist. Aggression down in the bottom as well, so Saint can really focus on whatever lane he wants. Really good push here from Comp and Elements, keeping Aphromoo and Muffin Cutie back. These guys are playing a really good game, and they're trying to snowball that in every lane just from the kill in mid. Oh, coming in onto Aphromoo, trying to put some attack down. However, the power cord forced to be used on the Elements, but they're trading good damage between both of them.
Look at the harass from Draven Sona there. It's insane how much damage you can do off pokes.
In that lane, when that's happening, is Aphromoo and are they just waiting for him to come back? Voyboy taking a little bit of damage. Are they just waiting for them to push the lane like that, knowing they have the advantage of a poke return?
They kind of just had to wait for level 2 because on level 1, Fiddlesticks E actually does an insane amount of damage.
Right.
Like its base damage is like relatively like 60 or 80, but if it bounces, it can bounce up to 3 times on the same target, and more than likely you'll get hit with 2 bounces. So off the level 1, like Fiddle actually has a really strong level 1. So if you look to all in off the level 1 when Draven Sona is actually really strong, you might potentially take a lot of damage. But they wait for level 2 before they look for the all in and look for a position where they can come in from different angles and be able to get off a really good poke. And right now, they're almost zoning the lane.
Yeah, they took a huge advantage off of that. I was just saying they're kind of pushed back. Curse is doing a very good job of controlling that, but the poke was just too much. And now, like you just mentioned, the levels up and up is going to make Draven just his line is straight up. As we were saying before, Tristana, Jaws said, has that kind of a U power curve, but Draven just gets more strong and more strong, but somewhat lacks that late game fight presence.
Draven's just a risky champion to pick if the other person has like a gap closer, like a hard initiator, like Malphite. Oh, it's so hard to play against Malphite. But if you're able to get far, like your laning is godlike. And if you're able to stay in lane and not get farmed and able to harass freely, then and able to transition like decently farmed into the late game, you're a huge threat. Because your damage is insane.
Zuna trying to place the ward over, and he's gonna kind of save him. He's having a little bit of trouble. There he goes, places the ward over, and all that time right now that Saint has spent up there, I don't even think he heard the ward go behind him. He may have just been looking around the map, watching the rest of his team.
Does that ward even see him?
I don't know. Is it in or out of the bush? I guess the ward does not see him. Saint must have just been to the perfect spot. On the left, Zuna could go down here. It looks like he will try to acceleration gate out. Gets himself out alive, but that is going to just shove, or not shove this lane, put this lane in favor of Voyboy.
Wow, and that's kind of the really weird, odd jungle areas where like you don't see the ward even though it's in the bush. You can't see the full bush.
Right.
It's happened to me before. It's really irritating. That's a situation where he might have just lost a lane off that one play. Like he's down 10 CS now with 10 CS moving toward his tower, but still he took so much harass there. He was forced to take a flash.
And this ward down by the blue is going to allow Voyboy to know Xmithie is coming in. Good ward down from Voyboy as well, giving himself some safeness after Xmithie returns from Wolves if he decides to. Nyjackie in mid now. This matchup 45-42. Mandatory Cloud, that passive really keeping himself in lane. And like I said, Nyjackie won't be able to do too much. ManCloud not even going back for his own wraiths. So these guys seem to be just farming basic in lane.
And bottom lane's doing fine. The CS looked a little bit scary before, but once it got to the tower, Cop got almost all the last hits on top of the tower. So they're only within 5 CS, and that's nothing.
Yeah, it's something you can always rely on Cop. I know, I keep saying ESL matches, but it's like the most recent matches these guys played, is that he was down like 30 CS 20 minutes into the game, and then another 30 minutes, and he was back up at whatever 180, 200 CS that both of the ADs had. So he's definitely good in the mechanics of blast hitting. This combination that they have down bottom, though, we can see it just getting poked out from that Draven Sona. Mandatory Cloud going back as well. Some of the first purchases coming down is going to be that Phage, which will help a little bit in the Draven lane, give him some sustain with that HP, as well as a little bit of attack, and kind of counter that Draven W speed buff.
The thing about that is that I don't know how much lane sustain he has by buying Phage first.
Right, he's got a fiddle, he doesn't have healer.
Right. It's a very risky play to go Phage first if he doesn't have a lot of health pots. I'm not quite sure how many health pots he has. Zuna actually taking a lot of unnecessary harassment Katarina. I don't know if it's because of it's an unusual lane matchup, but I don't feel like he's playing that lane as well as he could be playing it.
Going in for a little bit more damage here. The ultimate onto Zuna. He can't get him out. And it looks like they are going to be able to take down Voyboy here. The tick is on. They leave it up to Xmithie. And it looks like he will, as the undertow comes out, be able to take this one. No! Oh, Voyboy! Getting himself out of that one with a ward. Oh, now the undertow hits! Xmithie runs away. Wow. Beautiful job there. Only could be done by a Viking.
From an excellent play to just barely able to get that last action. With that health pot, you probably killed him with under 10 health to spare with that last axe. Oh, that was a great play by Void, but unfortunately it just didn't work out.
Over the shoulder, just throws that one back without a care. Xmithie pushing himself a little bit farther in the jungle now, kind of timing himself up actually with Skarner. They're gonna have 2,200 gold each, just about. So the jungle's now meeting head to head in that aspect. Xmithie moving into mid lane to soak up the last bit of experience as it is reset. Cop and Elements back to pushing that lane a little bit. It's kind of just Afro and Muffin waiting for that perfect engagement.
Right, Afro looking to freeze the lane again. They have ward coverage from both entrances, so they can look to just play it okay. Skarner's really only gank possible is through the lane, and he just turned 6, so he's gonna have to go back and heal his mana before he's able to go make a play like that.
We'll have to see. The ward's going down top again. They've been warding that quite a bit. The entrance from top, as if Zuna is going to be, roaming quite significantly here from on out.
Yeah, it's still a very surprising CS for top lane. Cat's actually splitting even perfectly, even after she died. So Void doing an excellent job top.
Yeah, keeping it pushed as well. The ward's giving himself safe CSing, as well as just hanging. I mean, Bouncing Blade is going to help him out quite a bit. And Zuna really not putting on too much pressure. He knows that last fight kind of hurt him out, and he doesn't want to put himself in a position where his lane is going to be lost anymore. Not lost right now, but maybe quite soon. That lane is still in the middle. Mandatory Cloud trying to throw these minion waves just into the turret. Ultimate coming out from Cop down bottom to push them off. Xmithie trying to show some presence here to push.
Going top, that's almost a guaranteed kill there without a flash.
Yep.
Oh, actually flashing back up.
Oh, caught into the air. Perfect catch onto Zuna. That was a beautiful statuesque. And we're going to see Zuna go down here in a quick 2v1. Bottom lane pressure coming out as they look to the turret here, seeing that St. Vicious is top, but they may be pushed off of this one. We'll have to see if they can get a re-engagement here. Smithy's still behind. They saw the undertow come out. There's the crescendo. Focus on Decap. He gets out of that one, and it looks like Muffin Cutie goes down in the fight. They waited a little too long for this engagement, and not too much damage from Elements, but he may be able to capitalize. One more. Afro move gets him down. The 1-for-1 trade. Actually, Smithy goes down as well for this, so the 2-for-1. And Jay's top makes it 3 overall.
That was a really bad dive to the tower for that. Just when Curse hits level 6, they have a lot of tools at their disposal. You never really want to fight Morgana at level 6 or Fiddle or Ezreal at level 6. They saw Ezreal ulti was down, but still there's 2 powerful ultis, and they ended up over-committing on a dive and lost 2-for-1. And with that kill up top, Curse definitely in the driver's seat right now. They can just look to force a dragon as soon as Ezreal gets back. Yeah. Ezreal Fiddle, and they can take it even with their ultis, with only Ezreal ulti being down, because they know that all the other ultis from the other team are down as well, including Sona ulti and a lot of summoners.
That engage would be very good for them. Coming back into this bottom lane, recapping that fight is overall one thing that set me off to say this is a bad idea. Is it took like 20-25 seconds for the entire Fear team to get down there for that to happen. That gives an entire team, 4 of them under a turret, to set up a defensive strategy. Who's going to be using the crowd control? And we saw them just push them back out from under the turret. The engagement was weird. Xmithie gave away that he was behind the turret way too early with an undertow. And they really formulated the entire fight well. Zuna pushing himself back onto Voyboy, trying to get some kind of ground in this lane. He's found himself pulled out by Skarner quite a few times here, and St. Vicious is doing a very good job of just being all over the map.
Those are the kind of trades I expected Jace to do from the very beginning.
Yeah, from the start.
And like, look, he got Void at half, taking like 150 damage.
And here comes Saint once again. He goes for the ultimate, but no, he goes into the Fog of War, so he's not able to capitalize on the impale. Can he go again? Wow. Oh, acceleration gate keeps him out of range.
Really, really unlucky Fog there from Saint. The Fog canceled out Saint's ulti animation. That just didn't work out well. And Smithy was able to see the ward bottom saying he knows they're there. He's just coming in to take the tower. That's it. They're probably going to take the tower and look to rotate the dragon because they know Saint was top. Saint just used flash. If Saint goes up one more time, they'll definitely 100% take the dragon with a numbers advantage. If not, then they can still look to pressure dragon within the next couple minutes.
Right, they could even capitalize on that and kind of give it a little catalyst. With the trades that Zuna's finally getting, he can make Saint have to come top by pushing Voyboy out of this lane. So these guys can really dictate it how they want. But right now, Zuna's still playing a bit passive, seeing Saint camping top.
But Zuna can go aggressive here. He has flash up now, so he's
Saint's
able to
vision in middle.
Right, he's able to, even with only just one ward up top and not in the try, I think he can still look to put pressure, a lot of pressure up there, and let his team get dragon. If not for free, then just for 1 death, which is definitely worth it.
This is going to be scary for them. If they see that Afro and Muffin go top, this is going to be a really quick dragon coming in. Skarner's down bottom. They're in perfect position to kind of just take this with only Cho'Gath being there.
And this is a really unconventional play.
Yeah.
I've almost never seen a team look to swap the 1v2 before they take dragon. Like, if anything, just take dragon and then go back, go top, and that would accomplish almost the same thing, but give you an advantage through dragon global gold. So it looks like they're just gonna go top. That's it. They're gonna take a free tower and give up a tower for a dragon, which I guess is.
I mean, they took one just before, so they're not, it's not really eating up too much. They're still a little bit in the lead here.
It's a decent trade, but just like, I don't think it's a trade that they needed to have.
Right. And this will actually put Curse in the gold lead. They were actually perfectly tied at 18,500. Voyboy taking some damage here. He is going to have the 3v1. Zuna, does he have the acceleration gate? He can't get to him. Tries to bounce himself closer. Gets the ignite on. And the single shot from the form change.
And that Draven damage is insane.
Just catching axes all day.
He just crit once on that, and then that's all he needed.
Well, what's your super being chased by Draven? It's pretty much over. He's going to have you in every which way possible. 3 to 4, 20,000 gold is pretty much all in the bank for both teams here. 2 turrets, a little bit of map control going to Fear here. They can really position themselves where they want to be, push out lanes, and get in the jungle of Curse. But we'll have to see if they can do that. St. Vicious has been very present all around, trying for the Dark Binding harass again. Hijacking having quite a good game in mid. They have kept even all CS, 122 to 122 there in mid. And, not too many core builds coming out just yet.
Let's talk item builds for mid real quick. Mid, Cho'Gath decided to just go pretend, which I guess it's okay because DFG is still really strong here, so he just built a defensive go pretend and the component for DFG. While Jackie also decided to make a farm lane and go for a DFG as well, rather than rush an early Zhonya's or an Abyssal for a better team fight. I don't know if it's just that they didn't expect a team fight early or not, or it's just a decision that Jackie went to go because he saw ManCloud go that as well.
It could be. Maybe they feel that Saint's doing well enough to really... Actually, he's not even going for that tanky of a build. Looks like he's trying to grab a Shurelya's. So we'll have to see what they decide.
And Ezreal picking up those free kills bottom has gotten a 1540 Trinity Force, which is pretty good time for a huge gold item, as well as picking up some wards and health pots. Cat up top rushing DFG on this patch. Cat 1v2 with DFG is really, really strong.
Having 2 GFGs on the team is not going to hurt, that's for damn. Coming in, Xmithie, throwing down some reckless swings, just trying to get the fear off here. They are going to go in hard on this one. Saint gets the shield, that they're putting themselves in a bad spot here, but almost able to come up with a double kill on this one. Element's forced out of the fight. He does get a double kill for himself, and that looked really in a tight spot, but they pull it out somehow.
And you see, Fear just groups up early, and Curse forced a bad engage with Oracles, and that could have cost them a large part of the game. And see, they at least lose 1 tower, if not more than 1. So Fear, just with a better communication here, the fact that they grouped up earlier than the other team, the team fights are pretty comparable, but they just had better positioning there.
Right. We do see this is the curse of Curse. Have an amazing early game. Saint with so many ganks pulling out Zuna a few good times, and the rest of the lanes doing quite well, besides losing their turrets. But now it just seems like they're getting pushed behind turrets already, getting taken down. We'll have to see if they can group. As you just said, Fear getting in that group of 5 a lot faster and really dictating where these fights are going to happen. With those turrets down, they have free roam over the first part of that jungle, even on Curse's side. So they have to be careful. Dragon should be coming up here within the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, so Cho'Gath goes for the Deathfire, and Jackie decides to go straight for the Zhonya. So he's gonna go.
He did, yeah. He was just looking for a little gold.
Top lane picks up a Thirster, very strong build. I don't like the Bruiser Jace. I really, really like it when people go like the Thirster, Brutalizer, Last Whisper build on Jace. I just feel like it's a stronger build, especially if you're looking to. With the 80 ratios that he has and the amount of pressure he can put with just 80 items.
80 ratios are ridiculous.
And Cat here getting poked down a lot by Jace with the strength of what a Thirster can do, even on someone with armor yellows.
Right, yeah. So forced to push down some potions there. They have group now. They have everybody in mid. It doesn't look like everybody. It's quite a small looking team. There's like a Fiddle, a Cat running around. Ezreal, but they're all 5 there, just waiting for this fight to happen. Skarner looking for that initiation. Does not have the Shurelya's up yet, but he will have the black shield to grab somebody out here. We'll have to see what they can do. The acceleration gate is down, so they get themselves a bad position, but allow some shot class damage. There's another shot right there, just a poke from this team. Very good right now. They're going to have Undertow as well. When these come from the toe-to-toe fights, they're going to really be able to just go at it. I do look at the HP right now first.
I don't think Curse can fight this with how poked out they are and how few buffs and summoners they have. Like, Zuna just had his double buff drop, but Xmithie still has a blue, and they lost control of the area because Saint lost Oracles last time in that scrap middle. We have Afro going back bottom. He's only about 400 gold away from his BF sword, so they want him to get his IE as fast as possible. Once he gets IE, Draven does a monstrous amount of damage. They may just look to farm for a couple minutes before looking to group up and team fight again, which is very smart.
Afro only 200 gold off of that right now. We'll have to see what they can produce. They're already winning this one, so that amplified damage is going to help so much. The Dragon is going to be up in about 50 seconds now. We'll have to see that movement with Saint Vicious being top and them grabbing the last dragon, you'd think, he'd be down towards the bottom of the map.
Jackie almost finishing up his Zhonya's. They can look to actually put a really good team fight in if they don't get poked out before the team fight starts. Jace just doing work with his EQ combo. and it's just causing them to not be able to initiate because of how much poke they're taking just from one chance.
It's really a big thing to consider. You know, you hit somebody and you're like, yeah, that was like 600 damage, but that's an AoE blast. If you hit 3 people for that, it's almost 1,800 damage, depending on what they have.
Obviously, Fear values this.
Yeah,
as
for
well.
sure.
They just gave Zuno a blue buff. Typically, something safe for the mid or the jungler. The jungler just picked up the opponent's blue buff, so he decided that Zuno was the ideal person to pick up blue. And unfortunately, Smithy just backed off their blue buff, and I don't know if Curse saw, but they get a free dragon for this uncontested.
Again, the gold exactly even at 27-2. 5-4, 20 minutes in. Curse looks to take this one back a little bit.
They could have looked to fight that, to be honest. As soon as the bind hit, had they just sat in the wall and Fiddle ultied over and Jackie gone in as well, it would have been okay.
Big Rupture. The Deathfire Grasp is down as they trade a little bit. I'd take a Rupture for a Deathfire Grasp. Doesn't seem like there's going to be too much of an initiation here. Mandatory Cloud is actually looking to go in. The Shock Blast, again, taking Nijaki down to health. Really want to make that a point and just keep a watch on Curse's health before all of these fights. The poke is going to be immense. You can just see them hitting so much. Now he's below half.
Another one. That he tried to spell shield that. It's physical damage, so it doesn't do anything.
At some point, I'm just going to say he's good at catching them instead of eating them. Good hands.
Wow,
the Draven ulti. I love that.
that.
Stop Nijaki from backing, and they're going to have such an advantage on this turret.
Right, and since Nijaki even had it back there, like he went through, and Boy and Cop got chunked. They can still get a free turn off this. Ooh, actually, maybe not. Maybe not. Jackie's back. Cop's a little bit low, but they only need their initiators to have full health to look to make plays.
Zuna just crushing in with those Shock Blast. Cop down to a 4th of health as he tries to move out of this one, blinking red. And all the poke just allows them to take these turrets at will.
Jace just being having such a big
and
impact
blue buff.
on this game.
That's things for them. So moving out here, it looks like it's going to be some Baron control quite soon. They may not get it off of this, knowing that they're all going to be coming
I'd
back
like to
quite
see a
soon.
transition top from Fear right here. They're able to just take the red buff and look to go top off. With this big wave, they can get some tower damage in. It seems like they decide, however, to go back instead. Certainly not a bad play, just a safer one. Instead of looking to take risks with the top tower, they just decide to go back.
Right. So everybody's backing now. St. Vicious looking to pick up an item for himself. Only about 600 gold. I don't think he's going to be able to get much. The Zonia is almost finished. He did pick himself up in Oracles for the rest of the team. The Zonia very close to being finished as well. See that Infinity Edge on Draven. 138 CS to 145. Like I said, Cop was down only a few CS before, but now he's up in CS. Never falling behind. That's something he'll always have.
Draven picks up a red elixir. He knows the next fight's going to decide the game. He has his IE. His team is going to look to force this fight as hard as possible.
More harass.
They're looking to stay on Zane.
Yep.
Maybe look to force a flash here. Oh, never mind. They decided to stop it. Just throwing axes for harass.
I think if that Shock Blast hit, it may have been a little bit more enticing, but he was definitely going pretty hard with those undertows.
Fear has to be very careful here. Like, they need to poke the land before they go in, or else a full health Curse team against theirs is not something they want to actually fight. Like, it's too much of a risk fighting that. They should go for the guaranteed poke and then initiate after poke, or letting the other team initiate for them.
Oh, there it is, the initiation that they wanted. The Crescendo hitting a good amount of champions, though, and it's going to be the initiation. They're trying to hit Mandatory Cloud, but he's quite tanky. Voyboy will fall, and it looks like Mandatory picks up 2 kills. Coming up huge with one for himself is going to be Xmithy. Now they force Comp and Elements out in front of the turret. They were able to take that entire fight with a beautiful pull, but I have to give credit to that Muffin Cutie ultimate. He just kept everybody locked up with Crescendo, and the follow-up will not be enough from Curse. 3 go down to the 1, which is Afro Moon.
That could have potentially been more for Curse.
Yeah, that was
I feel like they
very
played
close.
it really well. They got the pick on Afro. He was out of position. And they're looking to show a replay of this right now.
Yep, let's see how that went down.
I'm really curious of where Cop used his flash here. Because if he had his flash at the end, he would have been able to come back and clean up the team fight.
Trying to see, he's still on the outside here. I'm watching Cop to see when he flashes away. Or when he does. There, actually, no, that was a shift.
Wow.
Oh, shift in, flash out? Is that exactly? Yeah.
That's it. Had he
Wow.
just manned up there and just... Because they wouldn't have gone on him with tower aggro.
Right.
With 2 melee champions, he could have just stayed in and flashed forward to pick up at least 1 more kill. And so, just a small misplay by Cop that cost them the difference between winning and losing that team fight.
That was a very offensive arcane shift, and the 3 members of the team, I think he may have actually just fat-fingered the shift in and had noticed, oh my god, I need to flash out. So unfortunate there, as you said. Curse still looking to pick this one up. That was a pretty good team fight for them, just that mishap. Didn't let it go, capitalize in their favor as much as they wanted. You saw 3 members of Fear get out, blinking red. So this means that
the
Curse
biggest
can
thing
still do
about
damage.
that team fight was that Jackie had Zhonya's, but he got silenced by Cho'Gath and immediately killed inside, I think, a cast animation, and so he wasn't able to get the Zhonya's off. Something really, really bad of him. He should have looked for that silence, because it's 100% gonna come. It's why you pick Cho'Gath in this situation to shut down Cat as well as the rest of the team and Morgana. So like 2 small misplays there. That's all that was required to make the team fight go into his favor.
0 turrets dropped for Curse right now. These waves are cleared. There goes the crescendo once again. Actually, Olaf coming from the side. Xmithie on to St. Vicious. Beautiful dodge on the Dark Binding, and he throws his ultimate off for some reason. I don't know. I like it. Nijaki heading to the right side. It looks like they are going to try to Zhonya's out of this one, but they leave one behind. No, Fiddlesticks gets in there as Cho'Gath chasing him from behind. So a good initiation there. I feel like Xmithie kind of could have done a bit more damage, but maybe his team just said we're not going to fully engage
I
on
think
this.
as soon as Xmithie realized he missed 2 key axes to continue the chase, he just had to fall back. Had he landed 1 or 2 more axes, he could have gotten the kill there. I really think that could have happened. But instead, they're just going to look to force a Baron here. Oh, wow. Curse has no wards here. They do Baron so incredibly fast.
This is going to be a blind entry. They do throw it in. Deathfire Grasp goes off for a little bit of damage. A great rupture from inside the Dark Binding. They go on to Nijaki. There's the Zhonya's. He's only got 1 Soul Shackle on, and it's on to Zuna. They then pull him back. The Wombo combo of their own, and it looks like Muffin Cutie falls next. It's exactly what Curse wanted. The 1 for 1, or the 1 for them in each time as they just dissect Fear from this Baron attempt and stop it. Beautiful play by Curse, and they may have just grabbed themselves this. However, very low on HP. They have to be careful. They do have Aphromoo still up with that Infinity Edge, and ManCloud to stand in front for a little bit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they're taking way too much damage.
Huge
Curse
damage.
is gonna have to pull away. There's no way they can finish this.
That was a great True Shot Barrage, because he also stopped them from trying to go in on the reinitiation.
Right, so what could have turned out a lot worse for Fear turned out okay. They still lost 2 for 0, but they didn't get a Baron against. That would have lost them the game. That would have been a game-changing moment. I feel like they shouldn't have gone on Baron. It was too much of a risk, especially with Morgana and Katarina coming in. They didn't have the area warded on the entrance, except for I think the raid entrance. Had they had another ward in the middle of the lane, the reason why you get the middle of the lane wards when you're doing Baron is to be able to see far out if they're coming in your direction. Had they had one at middle, they could have seen Cat and Morg was coming and been more prepared to turn off immediately, or just disengage completely.
Yeah, it's got to be an all or nothing when you turn from Baron. If somebody else, it's total miscommunication if you don't do it together.
Yeah, and so they get a free dragon here. And
so with that last Baron, do you think Curse could have pushed an objective? Well, not Baron, rather, that's his objective. Pushed a turret, I should say.
They definitely could have gone top and gotten the turret. Top or mid and gotten the turret. They were 5 up, 3 were low. That would have been the safer bet.
Just crushing through. He does burn on the Shurelya's.
Oh, wow.
Looks like he is going to try to get a little bit more damage down Nijaki. Again, the fight hasn't even started, and these guys 1/4 HP. They pull in 1. Don't know why he impaled. There's not enough damage there to finish that fight. He just brought him to Elements' death. Zuna was like, thanks for the transportation, dude. Coming into this fight, Fear has all the control over this inhibitor turret, and it looks like a few ultimates down that would really assist in this fight are not going to be able to help Curse. Xmithie just continuously putting on that pressure. Use his own Shurelya's to continue that fight and really start it for his team.
Fear should definitely back out here. They're a little bit low. They should play the slow roll game. They have these team fights in the bag right now. They have an open inhib. They're stronger right now. If they just go back and heal and then come back middle with flasks, with pots, they can take the inhib with not that much difficulty.
So it's all up to Curse now. Left in their base to farm all these lanes as they come in. Their inhibitor is up. So they have that to their advantage, other than the tower being down, which is going to hurt just a tad. Only 2,000 gold down. Usually at this point in the game, you'll see a lot bigger of a gap, but Curse has been keeping themselves on the dragons. They thwarted the Baron and almost got thwarted themselves on it. So no Baron has been successfully taken yet. 9-7, so even the kills are close. It's just the map control right now. 5 turrets down. The complete control of wards with the oracles. I believe Saint still has his. Actually, Elements picked one up. That could be an quickly lost oracles on the squishiness of Fiddlestick support. So
I feel like Curse still has a a good team comp. Like they still have a decent team fight team comp, especially
We've
with
seen them
Shield on Katarina.
explode Fear in the right situation.
Right, exactly. But it's just this kind of Jace poke that they have to deal with, as well as Olaf's CC and vulnerability. He runs at them and forces them out of position. Oh, is there going to be... that's a Muffin Key. That might not even be that good of a Scarno. They could just disengage here.
I don't know. He wasn't able to get the crescendo off, so they do pick themselves up a little bit of gold. But like you said, not even really a true initiation, just something they could find, grab out. Maybe even force a Baron here with one down.
Right, but I don't think they can.
No.
Like, trading a Skarner Flash for just Muffin Cutie might not even have been worth it at this point. It's late enough to where like they need that Skarner Flash for a flash ulti on like on the Afro move, because he's such a big high priority target. Maybe they had forced the team fight a little bit harder. Maybe had Jackie like looked for a bind on the back line if possible. They may have been able to get more off that, but just 1 for 0 there on support. They're gonna have to probably wait a flash cooldown before they can look to fight again.
So it's been like a stalemate for the past 5 minutes in the game here after that middle turret was left. Zuna gonna pick up blue again to continuously just shock blast the team down with that poke. The undertows coming in from McSmithy have started at least 1, 2, 3 fights for them that have been successful. And he's just been always in the front line. And they really don't have a super tank on this team. I mean, Olaf did actually build Hex Drinker, so he's going for HP resistance and the aura from Aegis, but nobody's a super tank for them, and they all can do damage.
The thing that's keeping Curse in this game is that they have Top, who's 5-0-1. He's really farmed right now. If he picks up a Last Whisper, he can clean up team fights almost by himself, with Morgana and Cat getting the initial chunk of their health down. And that's really what they're going to look to depend on going into these late game team fights. So Jace is just looking for a poke. If he can land 2 more Qs on their backline, not like that though, but 2 more Qs onto their backline, they can just look to force the tower immediately.
There's one onto St. Vicious. They're trying to poke him down as well, so Skarner can't be that tanky to get in for the initiation. Shunko away as they start to poke down this inhibitor. They don't even have a minion wave there. Curse just knows they cannot initiate in any wrong way right now.
I don't know if Fear planned on that, but as soon as they saw Void E to the backline, Katarina's E is the only way she can go in. That's a very long cooldown. And so they just took free inhibitor damage.
And it continuously happens. They now have a minion wave here, waiting to pop out these super minions. Olaf going through the acceleration gate, still has Shurelya's on. And it looks like they are just going to push this one. St. Vicious does not want to grab Xmithy again. He saw what happened last time. Xmithy's just going to pop that Ragnarok and get into the fight and take somebody down.
I really like Fear's idea here. Like I said, they need to slow roll this. They can get this. It just takes a little bit of time. Don't get hit by random stray Qs, and that's it. Very slow in him, but perfect in exactly what they need to do here.
For being in the base for at least 2 minutes just now and walking away with that much health, they have total control over just the positioning of what fights are happening. Curse had to back up in their own base, and it's not looking good from them right now. We said that early game from them is going to be very strong, but this is where that falter comes in, that miscommunication between the team and maybe in engagements, or right now it's just happening that Fear has so much poke that they can't find a way around that to initiate with full health yet.
Right? They really have to just wait for Cop to get Last Whisper before Curse can look to make plays. And Jace almost has Last Whisper as well. Cop really far away from it, almost more than 1,000 gold away. Is Saint gonna look to oh wow, the Black Shield on Saint, he's so low.
Wow, Saint goes down very fast. Void and goes for the ultimate, knocked away. If they can get Void, like you said, that is going to be the end of this fight for them. Looks like Nijaki is forced out of this one. The ultimate coming in from Elements from the other side, but I don't think there's going to be any damage attached to that. Nothing coming from Fiddlestick support. Just a bit of chaos, and we're going to see them pushing out of this fight.
They
huge
could probably
Skara.
Catch Jackie if Zuna decides to gate ManCloud there.
Oh, the rupture is up. The silence is out. There is Jason. They're going to finish it off. Zuna coming up with a kill. Very nice call. They were able to place that down.
Very impressive. Okay, so they can only get 1 tower off this. If they push for more, they can lose to a counter Baron. So, they're not even gonna go for it. They should just. I don't even know if Dragon's a smart idea here. Oh, actually, they have 30 seconds on Jackie. They're not gonna fight without him, so they can just get Drag, go back, go buy, go heal, and prepare to control Baron again. And I definitely approve of this because bot lane has such a huge wave. They need to send someone there.
So Curse knowing they can relax a little bit with that ultimate towards Baron. You're going to see St. Vicious trying to clear out bottom here as well as top lane. Their inhibitor finally going down in middle in that last bout where Fear just stood in their base. is really what's keeping Curse back right now. Their initiations still able to win fights if they can get it off right. We saw Saint almost down to half health before that fight started. He was in the bush with a ward in it, just took a lot of free damage. He got the black shield, but was dead before that even ended, and they were pushed out of the fight.
Ooh, the big thing now is that Jace has his last whisper. The pokes are going to be even stronger, and they already look really strong. And Morgana with our armor. She has armor from Zhonya's, and it still looked like she chunked her every time it hit. And Cop's still more than 500 gold away from his last whisper. I definitely wouldn't win a fight if I was Cursed right now. Just look to slowly farm and wait until Cop gets that last whisper before I look to fight.
This is going to be big for them. How much money did he make in that last
Ooh,
fight?
he only needs 80 more gold. And Cop going a very, very bad direction. All he has to do is go toward Wolf Camp, farm Wolf Camp, not bottom. If he shows bottom, they will immediately look to pressure Baron. They can take a bad an initiation from Curse if Cop is not there, because Cop is key to being able to take that.
Still the gold lead at only 2,000. They're just keeping it within that increment. Cop trying to get that last whisper gold from the Wolves, as well as maybe the minis on this blue buff. If nobody else is going to take it, he'll probably just take it for himself. That'll be really nice to have in the fights if he can continuously reposition himself and give his team the upper hand, because he's going to be the one chased, just as Aphromoo is. And that's going to be, as we said before, Ascara, their biggest initiation. They need that spell shield, they need to get on Aphromoo, and they need to kill him instantly, because you're going to have huge damage coming from Jace, and you're not going to be able to kill him half as easy.
Right. Even with a Jace pick off though, like, he doesn't have defensive items. You can look to kill Jace if you get a pick off on Jace. So the issue is that getting to him, him and Afro should be the ones farthest back. Actually, without flashes on both Zuna or Afro, they have a good shot here. I would say at initiating. Skarner has his flash up. Oh, but they're looking to force a Baron here with just 3.
Oh, they cleared the ward.
Yep.
Trying to get the sneaky Baron in.
And they have to back out here. Xmithie taking too much damage.
Yep.
They're gonna have to be careful, because anytime someone gets too low against a Katarina team, if Katarina sees that and gets a free reset, her team fight power increases tremendously off resets.
That's the point where you feel really good, right? Even you get a smile on your face.
Absolutely. The resets are the greatest thing.
Reset's the greatest thing. I know they were screaming it and yelling it at MLG, and I was like, damn it, Scara.
But now we have Cop with Last Whisper. We have no flashes on Zuna and Afro for about 30 seconds. Saint, of course, should not know their flash timer. Yeah. But if he chooses this moment to go in and flash pull someone, this is ideal. Curse can come out on top here. Right here.
At this late in the game, just Fiddlesticks, he's not doing any damage. His crowd control is really good, but if he puts himself in the front, he's going to die. Does it fall off hard as a support?
Definitely falls off hard. If you're not tanky when you ult in as Fiddle, like, his 3-second fear is still extremely good. His silence is extremely solid, but when he ultis it, he puts himself in a bad position.
It's kind of a high risk, high reward deal. So we'll see, pushing up towards that top lane. Like this. No, they did not put any vision down. I thought they were going to try to sideswipe Curse as they came up to this turret. That looks like an easy turret for them to take. The True Shot Barrage going through. A bit of an initiation. Zuna is caught. There's the grab onto Zuna. He is going to go down very fast. This is a great initiation for Curse. A lot wasted on Nijaki as the Zhonya's went off. Mandatory Cloud getting back in the front. Bites down. And it looks like Draven finishes off Katarina. The scream to come out in silence, but St. Vish is just too tanky in there. They've gotten the fight they wanted. Cop able to do enough damage. The double kill coming from Aphromoo, but he does fall. Mandatory Cloud will follow after that, and Cop just able to output so much damage as Nijaki and St. Vicious kept in front, shielding and pushing away. Looks like we could have the Baron here, but we're going to have a huge push coming in from Xmithie to try and take out this inhibitor.
And this is really smart by Xmithie. Like, there's not much of a chance he's able to get a kill onto them, or even Smite Steal the Baron. Like, Smite Stealing the Baron is a risk. The best play here is just taking the inhibitor. Morgana can't do anything to stop it, or if they send one, they can't do anything to stop. So he knows, like, he's fine here.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good damage from the minions.
He can just get this for free and back out. Cop might look to cut. Like, Cop is definitely going to look to cut. But trading one for inhib is fine. Like,
all right, so this is where Xmithie knows he's being chased, knows somebody else is coming after him. He
dodges
the binding! There comes Cop, though. Cop may be able to get the proc off. He puts on his ultimate. He's got to wait 10 seconds, but the minions are hitting him, so that's going to last the attack. And it looks like he may be able to go out the other side, giving Voyboy a kill. There's just too much respawn time, but I like that. It gave the team time to get up, gave his team time to reposition, clear what they needed, and now they can be right back in their face if they need to.
Yeah, the biggest issue there is that Zuna got caught in a bad position. I like the fact that they went top way. I don't like the fact that they weren't prepared for what was gonna be an obvious like initiation by the other team. Like, of course they're gonna flank you. This is the best positioning they've been able to get all game, is when you go into that certain area and you overcommit for the tower.
So this is now something that has to be considered by Fear, knowing that you know, window of opportunity is down the Flash Impale. Do they want to force a fight here, or still find that fight that's going to be right no matter if Flash is up or not?
It really depends. I feel like Fear can maybe get something. Fear is a team that has to constantly disengage. They really can't look to go in unless a Rupture hits into a silence. And even if the Rupture hits, if the target gets black shielded, it's still not ideal. But yeah, I don't feel like Fear has many initiation abilities. They really have to just wait to be initiated on, or like slowly try to force it with like Olaf actions. And that's really not the ideal initiation you want.
So we have him backing up a little bit. Looks like Chris Kopp rather going to grab Dragon up. 285 is the CS there. I said it before, he is going to have the highest in the game most likely, and he does. The 2K gold lead now actually in favor of Curse. They've been down 2,000 gold for the past, I believe, 35 so minutes, which really isn't even a deficit, but they've switched it around, which shows they are bringing it into their advantage now. Having an inhibitor down, all their turrets crushed. I believe they're able to grab middle. Yes, they were. So that's one turret for them at about 35 minutes or more. So Curse now starting to finally find their ground and footing in this late game team to try to come out on top.
Jace going top here, I don't know if that's such a good idea. Afro was forced to blow ulti just to wave clear there. And Curse can potentially look to dive off this next creep wave because Jace, they see Jace top.
Yeah, I believe they do call Zuna back, and this could be a perfect engagement as well. They have no wards for that top side. Zuna looks to be going for blue first, and then he may say, hey, we're coming in. We can see Nijaki acting as that human ward. Double ward going over the edge. Let's see what they do on this turret. They're just poking right now.
Yeah, no, it's very hard to get on top of him when he has more shield. There's really nothing they can do to keep him off.
There's the initiation from Zuna from the side. It's going to push Curse back. 15 to 15, 42 minutes into this game, and Curse is now turning the tide of this matchup. They've been in their base for the past 15 minutes, even in their base while their turret was taken and the inhibitor. They just watched it happen, but it seems like they could have an upper hand here. Rupture going off, so we're going to just really harass that damage. And it doesn't seem like Fear, while in this position, has any of that poke advantage that they have before. It's still there, but they just can't seem to position themselves correctly to get on Curse as much as when they're on the offensive. And this seems like what it is. Sona coming out with the aura for the speed, and it looks like the Shurelya's may be going down. Olaf has popped his, but there is a Shurelya's on Curse, so this is really just going to be a chase.
The problem is just that like they're looking to poke, but Baron health regen is such a big problem for poke comps that they can't get enough poke due to the natural CDR restrictions for them to actually make a significant dent in their health pool. And they kind of just have to wait till Baron comes off. Like, they've stalled out Baron pretty well. It should be off within, now. It's off now. So, okay. Now they can look to have poke that lasts. I don't know about this Cho'Gath build. He decides to build really tanky, getting the Frozen Heart. However, they're against a lot of MR, or a lot of,
the triple AP.
AP. And I was really kind of hoping for a more, like, magical damage-oriented build instead of a Frozen Heart build, because I really don't think they need it.
Well, that's what I was wondering before, because without that, like, almost neither team has a tank. I mean, now St. Vicious is starting to build tanky, but before he was just the Shurelya's and into the Aegis.
Morgan's looking to go in with Saint.
They do have the black shield down. They're going to wait for that cooldown to come back up.
If they wanted to go in, they should have gone in as soon as the black shield, like, as soon as Saint was running backwards, they could have looked to land the Cho'Gath Rupture and gone on him there.
Well, they have the initiation they want. Curse does have flash on St. Vicious right now. But this is going to be tough. You can't really pull somebody through that angle.
That GA on Kopp is going to be a big problem. Like, they can look to burst on Kopp, but being able to burst him down and then do it again after GA I don't think they have the ability to do that with their team now.
Top 8, 0, and 3. Get out of here. 305 minions right now. And he does have that red elixir to initiate on this last fight. These guys know it's all or nothing for these coming in here. Let's see. Continue to pressure. It's not the same anymore. They were able to just take down the turret last time. It seems like Curse has just figured out a way to defend against the poke that's coming in. They all have very good HP. After what this happened last time, they were all down to half. and fights were able to be initiated. So I think Fear is kind of losing their right to initiate.
Fear should take what Fear is, I feel like, doing is just waiting for Baron to come up again. They could have looked to go rotate middle to take or to drive pressure in him. They're really just looking to pressure bottom. With bottom, you get a better angle because they really have to run at you straight forward, and they can't really cut you from different sides. They're coming back mid this time. I don't know whether it's ideal for them to go ahead and look to pressure this in him. I feel like they they just have to wait for Baron. They look to bait Baron or bait somewhere inside the jungle. If they can get a pick off, they can win this game.
I thought they were going to use that top wave. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, actually, using the top wave might have been okay, but the issue is that, like, with top, you can get cut from different angles.
Right.
And they don't have the ward coverage on top. Fear doesn't have the ward coverage on top to be able to know when they're coming.
Baron now an objective, 30 seconds until it comes up for these teams. Aphromoo trying to pick up red. Everybody getting what they can to buff themselves up for this next dance. It could be the final one of this first in the best of 3. 7-2 on turrets. Huge map control in favor of Fear. But right now that almost doesn't matter. Whatever happens from here on out is going to be that mid lane push. Unless it's just a completely stalemated game, the next kill is going to be down the middle and for the win. We'll have to see who can come out on top for this one. 45-45 into this game as we reach 50 or around 50 minutes. Still 15 to 15.
They're just gonna bait a Baron.
There's the Dark Binding. Who can they grab out of this one? They grab Mandatory Cloud. He just got the Frozen Heart, but he's still going to be chunked down quite quickly. Doesn't get any of attacks off. The Crescendo goes directly over the team, leaving Aphromoo to sit in the back and do so much damage. If he can find it there. No, Aphromoo getting chunked down. Voyboy gets in on him. Katarina with the reset. The Ignite is on. Voyboy will drop, but they come out with a double kill, or big, for Fear. And just the fight win overall for Curse.
Yeah, it was a really strong bait. It looks like they're going to go replay the fight now so we can see just how exactly it plays out.
As you said, they were calling for the wait.
Skarner ults the Cho'Gath, and that's really like the only thing they have. It was just a positioning win for Curse. They positioned strongly, they baited the Baron very well.
Using the bush, good advantage.
Oh, absolutely. And Curse gets Void gets a reset here, but honestly, it would not have mattered at that point. Curse had already cleanly won the team fight. At best, they're gonna get 2 out alive. It just so happened that Void got an extra kill.
Yep.
That's it.
So Curse picks up the second Baron of the game, and not a turnaround fight. What a trick fight. They sat in the bush and waited for that one to come up. Fear now falling behind slowly and just slowly. Deathfire Graph Zhonya's on both Cat and Morgana, so that's a lot of spells that can just be misused on a team. And when you're losing out on that much damage, especially the fact that there's so much area of effect coming out on the side of Fear, then they're going to have a really good time with this.
Fear should have chosen a better angle to Baron. They were afraid that Baron was going to get rushed, but they had the time to go through the their blue buff area and get a ward over the wall. That kind of initiation is really hard to do over a wall because they're required to blow flash to pull off the initiation. And you can have Cho'Gath or Xmithie tank any potential bind that comes in. And so I just feel like they just got out of position there. Very, very good showing by Curse there. And that could have just been it. Curse steadily regains their composure after losing this on the mid game. And I'm actually very surprised they're able to pull out what I believe to be a strong showing for a win this game.
They've definitely surprised me as well. They were just sitting in their base elements, making a lot better choices with his initiations and when he's going in and how he's silencing as well. He's got a little bit of life under for himself as well, so he can stay in the fight a little bit longer. And I think it's really helping when you get burst down like that and somebody can just turn and continue the fight. It makes a huge difference when you're like, I burst that guy down, but he didn't die. There's no reason to chase. That leaves people up when their abilities come up, especially a Fiddlesticks. That's going to cause havoc when you can fear and just silence.
If Curse went to play this slow and very safe, they could just take outer turrets real fast. Ooh, Saint takes some tower shots. Doesn't really matter. He has a lot of armor, and he has Baron buff, so he's going to regenerate very fast.
Yeah, these guys are set. They have created a 7,000 gold lead now, 19 to 17. Still a slow game in kills, but it's all about what happens after the kills in this matchup. What objectives can you take and what ground can you break to get to that next position?
And Curse realizes that all they need to do is protect top to win the game.
Yeah.
So Morgana buys the defense buys instead of going for a Void Staff, and that can help her offensively. She just buys GA, knows that she can pretty much never die. And as long as top stays alive, they'll win every team fight. And the problem about Draven is he doesn't have the mobility to go in. Past the other team's front line. So Fear has to kill the front line before they get to the back line. And that's very, very hard with the amount of CC that Jackie and the Element brings, as well as the damage that Void brings.
True Shot Barrage used on the top lane to try to kill some of that wave and get them a double push going on. We're going to see that wave in a few minutes, probably about a minute and a half, but as of right now, they have just themselves the poke here. And this is exactly mirrored from what Fear was doing to Curse 20 minutes ago. They were right at the front door, pushing onto the turret almost without any damage. But now they're taking a little bit of shock blast here, but they're doing, like I said, a lot better job of just positioning themselves for these fights so they don't start at half health.
Right, and Fear has had to waste a lot of gold that they got with their lead behind QSS. So at this point, in terms of damage, they don't actually do that much. They're just able to not get ulted by Jackie and Scarter, which isn't enough at this point, because that just means cop control.
Oh, Zuna getting caught out. They're not going to grab him. A beautiful crescendo causes them to turn back. Jackie goes for the Zhonya's. They didn't waste too many spells on it, though. They saw it quite early. St. Vicious Shirelli is out, but it doesn't look like a huge initiation. It's quite back and forth. Both teams just trading ultimates and showing off right now. A good amount of damage. This is Curse losing too much health here. They have definitely lost the upper hand in this fight. They have to be careful. So now both teams are going to back off, and they were just trying to get that turret and say, let's get out of here.
Right, Curse can just play it safe. All the ultis are down. Curse really a team that that has to fight around their ultis, so they're just gonna back out and wait for wait to buy and come back again. So they should just flash up now and come back. They'll definitely have the advantage coming in, and as well as the top lane shoving in, so they don't really have to worry about Fear making any plays throughout the map. Fear looking to just shove down middle. They have to be careful, because if they get caught in the bad position coming in, then that could be fatal for them. Katarina picking up a Void Staff. I
saw that.
Don't know if that's an ideal item for Cat. I'm telling you, at this point, Cat really all she needs is to be able to live. Had literally, if she just bought a GA as well, and there would be
she's
nothing,
building now, yeah.
Yeah, there would be nothing that they could do.
She actually, she wasted 1,400 on that before buying the chain vest, because she had the blasting wand, and then she just.
It's not a bad buy, honestly.
Right.
She's one of she's a really high damage dealing cleanup champion.
But yeah, you can get that from positioning correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
With the reset is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, once you get the reset, if you can find that, then it's just
okay.
damage.
It's an okay item. It's not a big deal. So Fear realizes they have to pull something a little bit gimmicky. They're gonna just wait on the side and see if they can't bait someone to come in. Does Curse see it? Oh, I think Curse may have had a ward and saw them initially sneak in, and they did. They see them sneak back out. They're looking to engage off this.
Looking for a big initiation. The undertow, Draven as well, trying to displace on the initiate there. Element still cleaning up. He has that Oracles for quite a while. He's been alive throughout these past fights.
They're just gonna let Zuna back here. Curse could have just shoved bottom, or actually top is shoving. They have to get top shoving again, and they can look to actually just push in top. It's a free outer turret right there.
They're really positioning themselves. They're stealing this, knowing that they just have to be on the top side of the map. We have Baron in 40 seconds to come back up here. 2 Barons already in favor of Curse, and a third one is pretty much going to seal the deal.
Right, and yeah, they're just looking to control Baron. They're sweeping Baron. Fear knows they have to go in. If they give them a third Baron, they will 100% lose this game. But if they team fight poorly, they're going to 100% lose the game as well. It's just going to be a risk that they have to take. They need to take it before Baron spawns, though. Like, they cannot run in. I don't think they can run in from that angle. They should be looking to run in from the side bush from
trying
middle.
to do the same thing.
Yes, where they already have ward coverage there. And
right.
They know where they are now.
Poking them out, the Dark Binding, trying to go over the side, looking for the St. Vicious pull as well. They're not going to grab it this time. They're really trying to use just walls and the Fog of War to their advantage for their initiations here from off on the side. Anything from the front is just too telegraphed for Fear, and they're able to back out of it. We saw the bottom turret back and forth, back and forth. All I got was a turret, which is nice, but Curse took a lot of damage there. So these initiations from outside, the vision of Fear is being really huge. And there it is from the backside. They didn't have anything there. Can they still get the grab down? They decide to go for mandatory, but he cleanses it off. He's gonna not take as much damage, but Impale isn't the one to really output.
But boy, Jasania's right there.
Yep.
Jackie's about to die. Okay.
Void Boy finds the reset, tries to get back on Azuna. Zuna standing in that, flashes out to keep himself alive. St. Vicious very low. Jackie very low. St. Vicious getting the shield on him is going to keep him alive, and it's now up to Muffin Cutie. He will not be able to stay alive, and he wouldn't be able to stop the push anyways. Looks like Zuna is left by himself to go straight up. He may try to get something here. He looks like he's going for the inhibitor, but it's going to be a strong push and almost a full minion wave directly behind them for Curse. They're definitely getting inhibitor.
Zuna realizes he can't do anything middle.
No, yeah, he stops right in his tracks.
Actually, never mind. It looks like he's backing out now. So he's going to back out.
Right.
Come down here.
He can at least save the inhibitor. No, probably not. I was going to say he has enough to take out the minions and pretty much clear the wave, but there's no turret to shoot anybody.
And that's all they need to do. So Jackie and Void just dived.
Wow.
Afroboot, and that's all
they're going to take Nexus turrets too. Looks like they'll be able to get both Nexus turrets here. And yeah, they could easily end this game right now. Zuna has to go all in. He's trying to pull the damage. Pretty good there. He saved a little bit on that turret, but he took too much, and it is going to be GG. Curse coming back from a huge, not deficit, but just